Here we go, guys. Now, a big part of the fun in getting involved in SoRare is that target acquisition, is moving yourself up the kind of leaderboard and winning things and all that kind of stuff as well. But if you're anything like me and you're kind of a little, I'm a dribs and drabs depositor and builder, if you like, then slowly but surely you'll start to find that your rares outgrow the kind of pool that they're in the now in terms of the D4s and the lower end of the D3s, and you then start to having to acquire some super rares to get yourself up and involved in there. So I now have 6 super rares. I can actually make a team of them, and I wanted to take a little video to have a wee chat with you, not necessarily through my super rares and why I bought them, but the sort of things you should be looking for when you're making your first 1 or 2 super rare purchases, because it is important and it is vital in my opinion, for when you are looking to step up a level, or when you're trying to maybe move the gallery forward a little bit, make it a bit more competitive. Give yourself something a little bit more to shoot for on a game week. Okay, if you're new around here, subscribe, like, share, retweet, all that good stuff, guys, and let's get stuck into it. Yo, so these are my super rares. Now on top of this, I do also have a Roofier who's not playing, and that was bought with that kind of in mind. So I've got 6. I only really have one team of 5. Okay, now I threw these guys into a D2 because I just couldn't wait to have a full blue lineup and just go for it. They didn't do anything worth. No, they did gather me 4,000 points, but I was really kicking myself because I could have used those points in some D3s, because the exception of Medina and the goalkeeper Titan, they're too strong now for D3, and that's one thing you'll realise with some of the super rare, or your super rares when you get them, if you haven't got them already, is once you go over that kind of point, I think it's 21 point something of a multiplier, you then become too strong for the D3, you need to move in it into D2. But by and large, Kluivert, Alvarez and Trippier, they can still go into D3s for me, which is lovely. Now, I've acquired these slowly but surely over time in a variety of methods for a variety of reasons. The Titan was a direct offer, the Kluivert was a snipe on the transfer to RB, Alvarez and Trippier were auctions, and Medina was involved in a trade. So literally every way you can imagine you can acquire a card, this super rare team has done that. Now, each individual card, I've bought it, number one, with the idea of it will fit into a rare squad I have now. So when I got Trippier in the summer, I say the summer loosely, maybe 2 months ago, 3 months ago, whatever. The main thing with that was he's also an Atletico Madrid player. He will play, and even if I had around him like kind of champion Europe type midfielders and strikers and goalkeepers, that kind of thing, he'll complement them. He'll be playing in the same game weeks as them, he's in the same calendar cycle as them, similar competitions, Champions League, whatever, and he'll go hand in hand with them as well. With my boys in midfield, I'm very MLS heavy, as you probably know. I'm a big fan of both players, especially Alvarez, and with him being 17, I just want to have him, basically. And then our boy Justin, obviously, he's been limited. He's moved to Leipzig on loan for the season. So for the rest of this year, there won't be any more SR Kluiverts, which is lovely jubbly for me. But again, each individual one, with the exception of Trippier, out of these 4 that I'm looking at, the worst case scenario is they don't have the short-term impact in my gallery that I want. They don't have the short-term impact on the game weeks that I want, and short-term they don't gain much of a capital appreciation value for me to sell on for a profit. So short-term, if those things don't go for me, what am I left with? I'm left with a 22-year-old player at New York, Paraguay, highly thought of, a 17-year-old Mexican player, highly well thought of, and a 20-year-old, he's only 20, maybe 21 now just, Dutch player who has played at Ajax, Roma and Leipzig. So even if in the short term they don't do what I want for them, they have enough strings in the bow that for the prices that I've paid for them, and I think Kluivert is the most expensive at 0.65, Alvarez was less than half a coin, Medina was a trade, it's basically free, it was off a reward I traded with, Trippier was less than a quarter of a coin, and Titan, it's been a wee bit frustrating for me, but he was less than half a coin as well. Now Titan, he is the number 1 goalkeeper for the squad, but he's been in and out with travelling to Poland, and I think he's got a little bit of a knock now, so that's been a wee bit frustrating, a wee bit annoying. The point I'm making is when you're diving into the auctions and you're looking at these super rares and you think, oh, I'd love a Thiago Thomas, I'd love that João Mario, oh, he looks amazing, oh, he'd be so good. You really need to take a step back and think, where does it go into my gallery? What is the upside? What is the downside? What is the potential for it for me to make, and what is the potential for me to lose, and that's where your first starting point's got to be. Pardon me. Because all super rares at a glance, if all you've got is rares, they all look good. You think, oh, I'd love to. Yeah, I don't care. He's not that great a player. He's a super rare. I'd love to get him in. He'll really bolster my team. But then, if you had to pay the money and you had to take up that squad space with them every week, you'd probably realise quite quickly that not all super rares are worth having as desperately as you might be after one. So it's all about choice. It's all about selection. It's all about taking your time and trying to hunt out the right ones for you. Okay, now with the super rares, there is 10 of them, right? So on the face of it, when you're maybe scouting about and you're thinking about, oh, well, I'll try and get him for this price and this and that and the other thing, there is only 10 of them. And because of the way the reward system goes and how often the auctions happen, you're really at the mercy of when it's available and who else has eyes on it. So with the best will in the world, somebody like an Efrain Alvarez, I'll give you an example. When it comes to MLS, as you know, I'm quite MLS heavy. I made myself a wee list of players that I thought, love them as a rare. If I can get them cheap, no problem at all. A lot of utility, I can use them. That's cool. I would chop an arm off to get one of them in a unique, but there's no chance I'm going to have the money, or I don't want to put the money down for a unique or whatever it might be. So then they fall into that. If I could get them as a super rare, I would be super happy. And I made the wee list of 5. Efrain Alvarez was one. You might have guessed that already. So then what I'm waiting for is out of that stable of 5, 6, 7, 8 players, whatever it is you put together for your defender, your goalkeeper, whatever, you're waiting for them to actually appear, and you're then going to go out and try and auction them. What you will realise really quickly is that there is only one super rare on auction now, and let's say my Alvarez I think is 3 out of 10 or 4 out of 10. What you've then got to think about is, when the hell will the next one come out on auction? Could be next month, could be tomorrow, could be 3 months from now. You can't predict it. There's no way of knowing. So you've got to be ready for them to come up, because again, if you've targeted it, if I'm like, I really want Efrain Alvarez and I really want this guy or that guy or that guy, one of them, I have to get one of them as a super rare this year, and then all 3 of them might come out in quick succession. You've not got the coin there. You will feel yourself let down, and then you might end up chasing the dragon, which you never want to be doing, chasing after something you're not actually ever going to catch. So you do need to be very careful, in the sense that we all know there's only 10 of them rather than 100, of course, but you've then also got that added nuance of when it comes out. Because otherwise, what you're then doing for your super rares is you're diving into the manager sales, or you're trying to do some private negotiation. And in those cases, because it is mano a mano, it's not an open market and what's your reefer balance, who's going to win it, that kind of thing, you can very easily pay over the odds for something, or you can very easily just try and get something for the sake of getting it, and then you're stuck with it. You won't be able to release it, you won't be able to sell it. So don't get me wrong, manager sales, if you find a super rare that's at a great price, somebody's wanting to release some capital for whatever reason, and you can see yourself a wee sneaky bargain, and by all means go for it. But more often than not, if a super rare's on the manager sales like really cheap, they're probably not playing. They might be injured, they might be out of favour, or if it is somebody who is active and exciting and whatever, they'll be super high priced. They will be. So your best bet, in my opinion, and I've done all auctions for gathering these guys, is the auctions, and being patient and having a wallet balance that is attributed, or allocated I should say, for your super rare collection to start going. Because I can tell you one thing, I did really well with the D4s, and I think I've had a wee bit of luck in D3s and a D2. The D2 was super lucky. I'm not going to go back into that, but I know that my time is marked with the D4s, in terms of my cards are getting stronger and stronger. It's getting harder and harder to squeeze under that gap, and I do need some super rares to help me make sure that my D3s, and if some of these cards really do kick on, a couple of D2 entries are very competitive, and I'm not going to lose that constant stream of wins that I'm getting, a nice little buzz off of, and getting a lot of success and a lot of profit from so far. And I recommend it's something you begin to consider yourself, because at some point it will be a road you'll probably need to go down. Because as much as I've got some really strong rares now, this is the strongest rare lineup I can make. Okay, 0.9, 9.6, 9.9, 9.7, 10.1 for the front 3 there, 9.7 and 10.1 at the back. So pretty strong. We're just under that 50 mark. So again, if I'm moving into D3, the cap is 66. And when you're putting a team in that doesn't even reach 50 and the cap is 66, you know you're going to be you're in an uphill struggle to go and get the top places and really grab those prizes, especially with some of the changes that might be coming down the pipeline. So as much as I can go, do you know what? Each one of those players are really high powered because they've been scoring really well for me. They've been bagging tons of XP, they've been bagging me prizes, they've been doing great. Does it look like it's ready for D3? On the face of it, it is ready. But if I'm able to do something as simple as just put one super rare into that, then all of a sudden I'm getting that, well, my power is basically up at the 60 level. And you feel much more confident, much more competitive. And then, you know, because you've got more of a multiplier, the scores your players are going to grab are going to get a better score, higher places, better prizes. It all works. So it's definitely a jump that I was prepared to make. I bought the Trippier ages ago in anticipation of this, and it was a little bit of a gamble. I thought, well, I can't really lose on him. He was super cheap. It's like a 4 AM buy or whatever. But equally, again, I know how much fun I have with this, and I have all the fun. But I know that if I ever got to the point where my competitive ability, my competitive edge was to diminish because I didn't have the facilities, I didn't have the equipment to actually go and compete in these tournaments, I know my enjoyment would go down. And as a result, when I'm making selections in terms of who I'm buying, what position they play, what league they're in, how old are they, that kind of thing, I'm always making sure that it's going to add to a lineup. You know, I'll jump into the training and I'll put a mock team together, and then I'll think, right, well, yeah, he could fit into that midfield, and those fixtures all line up together. So that means that could be a really strong under 23 team. That could be a really strong, you know, you might go into regions or you might go to the global. And trust me, when you've got that kind of planning, that forward planning in place, I can really let these guys go. And as much as I was saying earlier in the video, I'm getting to that point now where I'm really struggling to get D4s out to keep under that 42 point threshold. I'm not slowing down in the sense that my powerful cards, I'm pushing them. I'm always putting them in training, or I'm always making sure that they're active, because when they do get past the likelihood of them being eligible to be in a D4, I need them for D3, I need them to be super strong. I need them to be as strong as possible. I'm not too sure how many more super rares I'm in the market for at this point in time. I'm really happy with where my gallery is going. I was quite close about a month ago to maybe doing a few sales and trying to realign some things. But I'm actually really happy, and I don't really feel the need, the want, the desire. There's not many cards I look at and I think, oh, why did I buy that, or why did I have that? I'm actually really happy with everything. A big part of that is down to the records I keep. If you haven't seen the last video, go get your free spreadsheet, go check that out. As well as all the interactions I have with you guys. We're talking about football, and I think, yeah, well, my guys are really good, and yeah, you know, I'm super happy with them. If you don't feel that way, guys, what you should do is spend a little bit more time on SoRare data. Maybe check out some of the other videos I've done. Feel free to DM me, shoot me a message, leave a comment down below. I get back to everyone I possibly can. And yeah, like, subscribe, share, retweet, all that good stuff, guys. Stay out of trouble, and I will catch you on the next one. Take care, bye bye.